My husband denied any knowledge of the long hairs I kept finding in the bathroom, then I discovered what he was hiding. A few weeks ago, I came across something odd while cleaning the bathroom. I found several long hair strands on the bathroom wall near the shower. This was particularly strange because my husband is bald, and I have a very short, cropped hairstyle. Clearly, the hair couldn't have belonged to either of us. We also don't have a pet, because this would be an obvious explanation. Confused, I washed them away but couldn't stop thinking about it. I decided not to bring it up to my husband, but kept looking out for them. There seems to be a pattern that there's hairs appearing when I'm either at work or out for a longer time period. To add to the confusion, I noticed a pattern: the hairs seemed to appear only when I was either at work or out for an extended period. This situation is making me feel like I'm going crazy and close to losing my mind. I don't want to jump to conclusions and immediately accuse my husband of cheating with someone who has long hair. Maybe he secretly has hair on his head that he hides from me. That could be what this is, right? However, when I casually asked my husband about it, his nonchalant shrug only heightened my paranoia. It's strange enough to find such hairs, so his calm and unimpressed attitude seems suspicious. I'm beginning to suspect that he might be downplaying the situation to prevent me from discovering the truth. 2 days ago, I found long hairs in the bathroom again. I brought it up with my husband once more. This time, while he acknowledged that it was strange, he quickly brushed it off, suggesting that the hairs must be mine. I know for certain they aren't, and when I insisted on this, he started ignoring me whenever I tried to discuss it further. I'm hesitant to jump to the conclusion that my husband is cheating over something that might seem trivial, but this situation is really troubling me. I'm struggling to figure out how these hairs keep appearing, and his tendency to dismiss it as nothing is only adding to my frustration and confusion. It's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore, yet I don't want to wrongfully accuse him of infidelity without more concrete evidence. Does anyone have any ideas of what could be going on? I feel like I'm going mad. Relevant comments: start collecting all the hairs until one day you have enough of them to create a persuasive wig out of it. Once you have the wig, wear it and sit in the living room with your back facing the front door. When your husband walks through, pretend to be the mistress and record his reaction with a hidden camera. If he is confused as to who is in his living room, he's not cheating. If he says, "What are you doing here?" you got a problem. Hope this helps. Update. After much contemplation, I decided against installing a secret camera, as ironically, I didn't want to betray my partner's trust. Part of me was tempted to use a camera to dispel any fears of someone secretly living in my walls, a theory suggested by some of the replies from my first post. However, I did plan a different approach, leaving work early, something I had never done before. My boss allowed me to take a half day. When I got home, everything initially seemed normal. There were no unfamiliar cars on the drive or parked nearby. As I quietly entered the house, I was immediately taken aback by a pair of men's shoes in the hallway, which I didn't recognize. As I stood there, trying to decide whether to investigate quietly or announce my presence, my husband emerged from the kitchen with 2 cups of tea, clearly surprised to see me. Feigning ignorance, I asked him how he knew I was coming home early to make tea for me. Expecting a lie, I was instead met with a surprising explanation. He revealed that his friend, someone I had met only once and wasn't very close to, was evicted, lost his job, and had been couch surfing. Recently, this friend had been coming to our house to freshen up in our bathroom for job interviews, with my husband's permission. He was also borrowing clothes from my husband. It turned out that this friend, Dave, had long hair and a beard. So, my husband wasn't cheating on me but was keeping his friend's visits a secret. After his shower, I met Dave, a genuinely nice guy just facing hard times. I wished him luck with his job interview, and he soon left. I questioned my husband about why he hadn't just told me about this arrangement, as I wouldn't have had an issue with it. He admitted he was worried about my reaction and whether I'd approve of the situation. Dave was also embarrassed about his circumstances and didn't want others to know about his struggles. I shared with my husband that I had begun to suspect infidelity, which shocked him, as he hadn't considered how his secrecy might be interpreted. I called the whole situation ridiculous and even offered for Dave to stay with us until he could get back on his feet. Ironically, one of my worst fears was that a homeless person might be secretly living in my house and using the shower. While the situation turned out to be somewhat related, I'm relieved that it wasn't a complete stranger but someone my husband was trying to help and definitely not someone living in my walls. Have a nice day.